Right, WeaponCollector here. I thought I'd do a video on some of the legal carry knives you can have in the UK. Now, before I start, all these knives are within the limits of the law, but always know that no matter what you carry, if it's a knife, even if it's legal, you could still get arrested with it. You know, if you're acting threatening or, doesn't even have to be that. Policeman at times just wants to arrest you for what you can. So, just be prepared for that. But these are the knives that are deemed legal to carry in this country that I own. So I just thought I'd show you some of the stuff you can get and some of the more interesting features I've found over the years. So we go over the old classic first, which is the old Swiss Army penknife. And to be honest, these are hard to beat for legal carry. They look non-threatening, but they are a good knife, you know. If you want a good non-locking penknife, you can't beat a Swiss Army penknife in my opinion. So I'm not sure what model this is, but this is one of the ones with the multiple tools on it. You can get ones with just 2 blades. Yeah, they're all perfectly legal to carry within the, not within the law, but within reason. You can't walk around with a knife in a club or something stupid like that, but yeah, classic Swiss Army penknife, can't beat those. And then here is I think it's true utility version of that, similar thing. One of the rare sort of knockoffs or copies that are actually alright. You buy cheap Swiss Army penknife copies and they're usually rubbish. This is quite a good one. It's got quite a few features on it. Pliers and that's exact same tools you can get on one of those. But that is a good knife. Then you've got your sort of multi-tools. I've not got any multi-tools to show you at the minute because all of mine have got locking blades. But you can get plenty of normal plier style multi-tools with non-locking blades. This one is a slightly unusual one with the pliers like that. Non-locking blade, and a decent sized blade, similar size to the Swiss Army penknives, but those would be perfectly legal. Like I said, within reason. You don't want to be carrying knives in schools or places like that, or clubs and pubs, because you've got no real reason. Although you don't need a reason for a sub 3 inch, you shouldn't need one while you're out clubbing, unless you're opening bottles, I suppose. But still, that's just getting on a tangent. So that's that one, and that one done. Something I wanted was a Swiss Army style knife with a torch on it. I managed to get a good one, but I've seen some with torches and they was always rubbish. The torches on them was either really bad or they had really unusual batteries which made it pointless. And then I managed to find this, which is a Seamer flashlight knife. And this has a strobing flashlight, Cree LED, and takes a rechargeable 18650 battery, which is brilliant. It means it's got decent power, it's got various settings, and it's a good torch. And then the blades on this are here. I've changed the position of these blades, but you get the blade there, and all the other various tools you would. That is a good knife, that one. I changed the position of the blade because the blade used to be the second blade in the actual traditional cutting blade, but I wanted it on the edge there. You get it out quicker and easier. Yeah, that is a very good torch, that one. Knife torch. So something else I wanted was some of these knives. Well, I'll show you what I got first and what I wanted afterwards. So I got a couple of these little San Renmus, which are good little knives. The thing I like about them and wanted was one-handed opening for a start. So you need a thumb stud on them. And then you want a finger choil really, because the problem is these knives are too easily, you know, it's no different to any other non-locking knife, but with a finger choil it gives you a little bit more safety, and you know, well, that is it really. It gives you a bit more safety. But this is not a bad knife. It's got a couple of features: glass breaker, decent size. You know, they're always going to be reasonably small, being the, you know, the size of the blade. So the blade is going to be, you know, the handle's not going to be much bigger than the blade. But yeah, one thing I wanted was one-handed opening. So that is something that this doesn't have. So then I wanted something with a finger choil. This one's got, before I go on to the next one, sharpened a screwdriver, bottle opener screwdriver and the thing. So then I wanted something with either a finger choil or some kind of guard. And that's where I came up with these. It's another Sanrenmu, one-handed opening. This one's even got a flipper. If you flip it just right, you can flip it open. But that's not really why I wanted it. Not for the flipper, not for the flipping mechanism anyway. What I wanted was that flipper acts as a little guard. See it there? Hits your fingers, stops the knife shutting on your hand. So again, this is very similar to that one I showed, apart from it hasn't got the glass breaker and it's only got one tool. But again, a nice little, good little knife, but a small handle. So then this is a similar one to that, but it's got a very stiff flipper. But what this has got again is the guard to protect your fingers, one-handed opening, but this has got a couple of extra features. It's got the glass breaker and it's got the two tools on the back instead of just the one. So then you're getting to the stage now where you've got a bit of a guard, you've got one-handed opening, you know, they're getting better. The only thing I don't like about these, or I dislike about these, because it doesn't bother me, because like I said, these are all the same, they're all going to have about the same size handle due to the size of the blade. Yeah, that handle is that is probably slightly bigger than a Swiss Army penknife, and the Swiss Army penknife does fit in your hand alright. But I wanted something with a bigger handle. So what I bought was this knife, which is a non-locking knife, but the blade was too big. It was a quarter of an inch too big. So I ground the blade down. So now that is exactly the length, like 1 millimeter less than the limit. One-handed opening. And look at the size of that handle. Because of the bigger blade originally, it's got a big handle. I'll show you it to this one. Massively bigger handle. The only downside of this one is you would have to make this knife, you know, you'd have to ground the blade down yourself. Yeah, the original blade was probably out to about there, slightly too big. This one's got a couple of tools, sharpened hook, screwdriver and bottle opener, and the glass breaker. Yeah, that's one of my favourites now. If it had a little guard, it would be absolutely brilliant, or a finger choil. And then, talking about the finger choil, one that I actually found that did have a finger choil was this one, which is the HX Outdoors copy of, I think it's the CRKT Journeyer. Now this one's one-handed opening, it's got a half stop there, but it's also got finger choil. So you're going to be a lot safer with this. To be honest, most knives are reasonably, you know, most knives that don't have a finger choil, it's down to you to stop yourself getting cut with it, you know, and as long as you're using a knife properly, you shouldn't get cut with it anyway. So this one obviously got the legal blade, doesn't lock. It's got a sort of glass breaker type thing there. Yeah, I do like one-handed opening on a legal carry knife. This one has got a locking option. You can put this little Allen key in there, and now that is locked. That would make it illegal, but you know, it's only until you actually deploy it that it is a lock, technically, I suppose. You could always put that somewhere else, but that just stays in the back there with a magnet. And that is a nice knife, that one. Then you got one of these gardening knives. They're perfectly legal to carry. Not very pretty, but you know, it is legal. So it doesn't really, you know. But the one advantage these have is it is a tool. You know, although all knives are tools, this is easily recognised as a tool, if you know what I mean. You know, it is made specifically for gardening, where these other knives can be used for gardening, but they're not specifically for gardening, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't carry that personally, but if you did want to, you know, it'd be perfectly fine to carry it. Then you got one of these little tiny little knives, and this one has a flipper. So this is one-handed opening. You can hold it quite high up, you know, it would move. I suppose you could sort of, if you had your thumb there. Yeah, nice little knife, way under the limit. Quite non-threatening. If you pulled that out, you know, some people it might not even look like a knife. But good, nice, quick deployment. Very nice. One of these in just under legal limit would be good, I reckon. Or one that the flipper was here, so that when you flipped it out, the flipper foot was there. That would be good. You may be able to get a knife like that. And then, did I show you this one? Yeah, I showed you that one. So then lastly, this was another one of the flipper style ones that I wanted. And this one has a little toolkit, the flipper. This one's a bit stiff at the minute, but again, because it's got the thumb studs, it'd be one-handed opening. You may need to flip it out a bit first. Nice pointy blade, got the foot for the protect your hand. But then this one's even got a saw that locks, which I'm assuming would be legal because it's technically not a blade, it's a saw, you know. I don't actually know the legality on that. But then this one's got the tools at the back again. Yeah, so this is very similar to these ones here, but just with more features. Let's try to unlock it then. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you some of the ones I've got and the ones you can get hold of. If you're interested in any of these, some of these ones at the top here, there, all of these, I should be able to put some links in the description to these. And if you use my link, I'll get a bit of what you spend, and that way you can support the channel. I think the majority of these would be on GearBest. They are on GearBest, yeah. Yeah, that is some of the non-locking knives you can get and that you can carry in the UK. Right, hope you enjoyed the video. See you later. Right, before you leave, if you ever wanted to support this channel, you can now via Patreon or by shopping at Amazon.com and GearBest. There's more info below if you need that. Remember, if you want to get full notifications for this channel, click the bell, and I'll see you later. Cheers.